Okay, so this is my first video talking about social media for Knox. The first thing I want to show is how to open Adobe Spark and create a graphic. So you need to go to your browser. In my case, I'm on a Mac. I use Safari. And just go to Google or your search engine and search for Adobe Spark and go to the login page. It's spark.adobe.com. Now, there's different ways you can sign in. If you have Adobe Creative Cloud, you can sign in using your Apple ID, or you can also connect it to Facebook. So that's kind of what I do when I'm at home. I just connect it to Facebook. If you do this, it's going to ask you to link the two accounts, and you'll have to get an email that gives you a code. But it's a pretty easy process to do that. Or you can just, if you have an Apple ID, you can use your email to sign in that way as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with just a post. You can also do videos, but I'm going to do post. And so I'm going to say all, and up here it says graphic. So I want to do a graphic, and then it says, okay, do you want to do it for Instagram? Do you want to do it for Twitter, or do you want to do it for Facebook? Since I'm going to do a graphic for all of the projects, I think I want to do Instagram. So I'm just going to search for Instagram because I want more options than that. And I find a sample that I kind of want as a starting point, and I just say create from. Anyway, because I want this square graphic. The ones I'm going to do for this sample are the bed brigade that we just had happen, and I'm going to do a post that just talks about how we raised more than $12,000 in cash for it, and then I'm going to put in for the message the letter that was sent out that kind of explained who the veterans were, how they were associated with Knox, and all that good stuff. So this is my starting point, and as you can see, all these elements are something that I can go in and I can delete. There's type, there's backgrounds, there's all kinds of stuff. You can start from scratch, or you can pick one you like. So in this case, I'm going to replace the photo. This is the photo icon. Here are my options. I can do free photos, or I can upload a photo. You can go in there and you can search in backgrounds. You can Adobe Stock. I'm going to upload a photo on my desktop. I have a folder, a graphic, just bed brigade that I took while I was there, and it's just going to drop the photo in as we wait. Okay, so here's the photo. I can move it around. I can add a border. I can change the layout. So let's say I want it to be on half the page, and the other half would be a graphic, or I can do multiple pages. I could do simple. I could do graphics. There's all kinds of things that you can do. I'm just going to do something basic. And then over here on the side, you can see there's design. So there's different variations that you can do. So I could go with that one. I could go with something like this where it's going to colorize it. I can go in and I can change the color palette myself to come up with different ideas. If I wanted to resize it, let's say I want it to be like a larger Instagram or a Facebook or something, I can do that as well here. But I think I just want to go back to just the basic one, something like this. And I'm going to scale the photo down. If I click on the photo, I can scale it down a little bit more, or I can scale it up. I could rotate it. Mainly I'm just going to put type on top of it so I don't have to go too crazy with it. There's filters that you can add to it, so I can make it look like it's grayscale, or I can add contrast, matte, multiply, colorize. If you colorize, you can change the color here. Lighten, multiply, and then there's a blur feature, so like if you just wanted the type to be on top of it, you could blur it. I think I'm just going to do contrast. Then so then I want to add some text, and I clicked on the little plus tool and it said, what do you want to add? And I said text. I want to say thank you for raising $12,000, $12,000 plus dollars for veterans. So here are the fonts. I can choose the different fonts. I just want something big, I think. Then I can change the point size. I can change the lettering. I can change the spacing. And then I can click on shape. And right now, this is the one. This is because the sample I had this one. This one does background. This adds circles. There's just a million different ways you can do it. I don't know. I think I'll probably go back to something like that. And then I would go up here to color. And I would probably change the color palette to something else that stands out a little bit more. Maybe something like that. I want to have the spacing come in, have the lighting come in a little bit. And then I need to make sure that 12,000 plus is together. So I think something like that I'm going to be okay with. What else are our options here? So style. You can just go around. These are just the different. Remember, I had picked the one sample. Those are the ones you can do. I'm going to say undo. Got to go back. Resize. Add brand. I don't want a brand. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to say remove once. Now, if you have Google Adobe Spark account, then you don't have to worry about that. I have it, and Adobe Spark has it through Lewis University, so when I log in with that account, I don't have to worry about that. But if you do the free version, it's always going to say Adobe Spark at the bottom. I don't know if Knox has a Creative Suite. We should be able to log in with those credentials and not have to worry about it, and you can even add your own logo to that. I'm going to scale the photo up a little bit because I don't want that Bed Bath & Beyond thing to show. I like the fact that the flag is underneath it. So I think that's going to be about it. I go up here and I name it. And I'm going to call it Bed Brigade 2019. And then I'm going to say download. What do I want to download? I want to download an image. And it's going to put it in my download button. And that's going to be it for this creating the graphic with Adobe Spark. There's so much you can do with it. You can do videos. It takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes to play around with it, and you'll find it as easy as you can imagine. So that's that. The next one, I'm going to start uploading this graphic to the 3 different social media platforms.